T-minus 24 hours until Saturn is officially retrograde. I'm super happy and excited about it, which I know sounds crazy, okay? Saturn retrogrades bring so much opportunity for restructuring and regrowth. I like to get my hands in it, you know? I like to get my hands wrapped around the concept again. I like to get my hands wrapped around the thing that I've been working on again. Let me get a good grip on it before we move into the future so that I don't slip about it, so that I really have an understanding, so that I can really make the steps forward that I know I need to make. Saturn retrogrades are good. That is, if you have been sitting and learning the lessons and doing the Saturn work. Otherwise, sometimes, yeah, they can kind of suck a little bit. Yeah, they get a little bit hard if you haven't been doing that. And, or you are trying to climb a ladder of some kind and like get into a new position in the world, because Saturn is about hierarchy. So if you're working on building more hierarchy, sometimes it gets a little gritty, right? Sometimes you gotta really get into it. But that's a part of the reason I love Saturn, so yeah, it is. This Saturn retrograde is taking place in Aries up until September 1st. Now it'll retrograde back into Pisces on that date. July 13th at 16:07 UTC time is when Saturn officially is retrograde. So for those of you who are, peeking, looking out for the date, pause for the cat visitor. He doesn't always come say hi, but apparently here we are. And he's gone just as quick. Orange cats, man. Back to Saturn retrograde though. Since it's in Aries, it's gonna be ruling over our head. You may finally be able to see the bigger picture instead of focusing on every single detail, this detail and this detail and this detail and this detail. You might actually have the ability to say, wait a second, oh, they all go together like this. Because it's your life, you know? If your work is doing one thing and then your family's doing one thing and then there's all these other areas, social groups, friend groups, hobbies, rest time, you time, all those areas go together, and Saturn retrograde helps us cohesively bring the picture. How do I have these work together? What sacrifices might I need to make? Because Neptune is involved. They're conjunct for the Saturn retrograde at the beginning, and Neptune and Pisces have to do about sacrifice just a little bit. So if there's transitions that you're looking at making right now, this is a good time, thank you Saturn retrograde, to say, oh, I get the bigger picture. I can see the bigger picture now. Because I can see the bigger picture, I can see why what I've been trying to do just hasn't been working. I've been trying to do this one thing, and because I haven't had these other alignments, or I've been focused too much on this area instead of this other one, stuff hasn't been clicking. What's not clicking, Steven? Yeah, you'll get that clarity. You'll get it while this Saturn is retrograde, especially right at the beginning. And I'm thankful for this, because once Saturn does go back into Pisces on that September 1st date, then we're focused on continuing the transition. So we have all this clarity before September 1st about the big picture. We also have a third quarter moon in Aries coming up July 17th, right after Saturn retrograde. Lots of clarity and direction on that one. I am very much looking forward to that moon. Don't know about you, but I know about me, and I will be cheering on for that moon to come. I don't know what the clarity is going to be exactly, but I'm grateful that we're going to have it. Okay, so once Saturn moves into Pisces, right, then we've got a couple months, because Saturn doesn't go direct in Pisces until November 28th, so like several months. September, October, November, three months of us making the transitions now that we have the understanding, oh, this is the bigger picture that's been going on. Is anybody else confused, okay, about spiritual purpose and what you need to be doing and how you need to get there and what the path is going to look like and all the other stuff that goes along with that? Because I've been getting recently, as we've gotten closer to Saturn going retrograde, and Neptune is now retrograde as well, I've been getting little things here and there, and Spirit's like, there's that, makes a little bit more sense, huh? There's that thing over there, makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Yeah, Spirit, okay, you're gonna get the big picture. Okay, now it makes sense. Now I understand. The North Node, granted, is still in Pisces, so some of it may not make sense totally and completely. However, the big picture will make sense, even if there's some details that we don't have yet. Oh, I've got to go do that thing, and now I get it, and this is how my life needs to move so that I can go do that thing, and these are the sacrifices I need to make so I can go do that thing and go towards that in my life. Look for some bigger transitions come the end of 2025 into 2026. I don't know if you're planning on making big transitions. I know I am. But it's going to be some bigger transitions going into the next probably about year. Like 6 months. Into the next 6 months. Yeah. And we haven't even gone over eclipse season in September, which is Pisces included. Crazy. But that's Saturn, okay? So let the big picture clarity come in. Once it goes into Pisces, make the transitions. We have time, okay? So if you don't need to, don't put too much pressure on yourself. We have time to make the transitions. Once Pluto goes direct, because Saturn right now is partially ruling over Pluto, so once Pluto goes direct October 13th, we'll start to see more forward motion. The transitions now is going to be, once Saturn goes into Pisces September 1st, is going to be a lot more about transitioning things out of our life so that we can make room. There could be some things that show up. Oh, didn't think that was going to be here, but here we are. Didn't think that was going to be here, but here we are. The densest time of this is going to be September 6th to October 13th, when we have Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn all retrograde. Lots of stuff to figure out, transition, reconsider, and build simultaneously. So happy Saturn retrograde. Guys, we're here! I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited. Saturn retrogrades are my happy place, and I am just so grateful that we get to go into one. So as a fellow Saturn retrograde myself, I'm a little biased, but yeah, everybody has their opinion, so whatever. On a personal level, I'm super grateful to be here. And gratitude reference, I love to you. Keep up the brew that you do. Keep doing everything you need to do, as Saturn would ask us to do, you know. I will too, and I'll talk to you soon. Also true.